Hello, Bumpy McSquigums here, and I'm about to embark in a kind of different direction. This is I wanted to play this game LP, if you will. It's a game by Cyanide Studios and Spiders, and the publisher is Focus Home Interactive. It takes me a second to remember because there's three names, and it kind of gets confusing. My tongue wants to rebel, and I have to keep it in check. It's fine. The game is of Orcs and Men, and it's quite a bit of fun. I haven't played it in about a year, and well, I wanted to play it again. I figured I might as well record some episodes while I do it, and just kind of throw it out randomly whenever, I have either a lull, I want to throw some bonus episodes of something out, or like on Sundays right now, I'd like to get back to my free-to-play phenoms, but it's going to be a while. I am still on this course that I'm taking, and unfortunately Sundays I can't quite commit that much time and effort to that project. So, usually I give you nothing, or I'll give you a one-off episode, so this is going to kind of fill that in if I do it frequently enough. Either way, it's a filler series. It's something I just want to play, I want to get my hands on again, and like I said, I want to bring you guys along for the ride. So, a little thing about Spider, I guess. Yeah, we'll go with Spider. So, I want to tell you guys a little bit about the two developers. They actually have quite a few games that I'm a big fan of. And we'll start with Spiders. They have a game that's just coming out really soon, and I really, really want to get my hands on it. I really want to play it. I'm very excited by it, and it just looks amazing. I've contacted the developer, and I hope they get back to me about it. Now, it's Bound by Flame is the game that's the new one coming out, and like I said, it looks fantastic. They did a fairy game. This is one of their most notable games as well, of Orcs and Men. And they did two Sherlock Holmes games, and one that people might be more familiar with as well is Mars Warlogs. So they've done quite a few games, and I've played, I believe, two of those, and I'm really excited to play another one. So we'll see. And the fairy game actually looked pretty good too. So I don't know, maybe I'll end up picking that up down the road as well. Now, on to Cyanide Studios. Two of their most notable games that I've played, other than this one, is the Confrontation series. So Confrontation, the actual game, and Arkash Legacy. Both those games are pretty fun. Confrontation, you saw where it was going, it had a lot of good ideas, but Arkash Legacy really cemented it down, smoothed it out, and made it a really, really, really good game. And I'm going to attempt to play both of those games eventually on my channel as well. So, I'm doing a little bit more of a long-winded explanation, kind of about the studios and everything else, because, well, I can. This is all for fun for me right now. It's not part of my regularly scheduled LPs, so I can do whatever I want. I figured, since it's going to be more sporadic, I might as well throw a little bit more knowledge at you. As the wise prophet White Goodman said in the movie Dodgeball, A True Underdog Story, let me hit you with some knowledge. So, I've done that, and now I'm going to continue on. We're going to start a new game. We are going to completely scoff at our old game because I have no idea what I was doing. It was over a year ago. And one more disclosure, disclaimer, I'm not sure. I guess it's a disclaimer. One more disclaimer before I actually embark on this epic journey. I'm pretty terrible at the game. I'm hoping that I'm going to do better, but I was pretty bad when I originally played it. It's a little different from what I'm used to, and I still feel I should do well at this, but this reminds me a lot of Dragon Age Origins or, well, even Arkash Legacy, if you played that. It's similar to that in a lot of regards. There's a Game of Thrones game that this is similar to. In fact, Cyanide Studios, I think, even put those games out. So this is, you'll notice a lot of the influence from Cyanide Studios in this particular game. So, without any further flim-flam, further ado, or nonsensical whimsicalness, we're going to start the game up on medium. Few orcs still use their own dialect in Empire lands, apart from terms like Rakash, for which no translation is provided.
Not exactly a new concept. At first, it was really about the coming of an empire. All the human kingdoms on the Icerian continent united under a single crown and a single religion. And in both cases, I can tell you they weren't just playing around. But the end result was there. The Emperor Damocles made humans his sword. It was when His Majesty decided he wanted to extend his influence to the southern lands that sparks began to fly. Because, well, the peoples of the south are beast-like green creatures 8 feet high, all muscle and nerves, with a natural-born talent for war. So, it figures they resisted. Despite besieging their villages, and even though the Imperial army was far better organized, the damned orcs fought back with savage rage, and their victories were the kind remembered for ages. But Damocles wasn't just gonna sit there and take it. Protecting their territory behind a giant wall, the Empire would never give up land, and its ruler wasn't planning on standing pat. With the construction of the wall, the scale of the war began to alarm the neighboring provinces. Faced with the Green Peril, the Empire saw the elves and the dwarves as potential allies. With their support, a quick victory over the Greenskins was a certainty, and peace could finally return to the Icerian continent. Afterwards, it just remained to be seen what kind of peace would await the vanquished. Over the decades of conflict, the orcs were already beginning to figure it out. They were much sought after for their strength and toughness, and so, grinding slavery was always going to be the result. Submit or die. Needless to say, for a goblin like me, things were going to be just as bad. We were there to be had like rats in a trap. Yeah, it's not easy being a greenskin on this fucking
Bleep.
continent. You got my sympathy if that's your case.
Teehee. That's right, guys. High quality, professional grade censorship. Brought to you by the one, the only, Bumpy McSquiggums. Alright, this is going to be a little bit more storyline before I get control of my character. And there my character is. Isn't he adorable? Don't you just want to go give him a giant hug? And giant would be the apt term. Alright. Well, there he is. And he does not look like a pleasant or happy individual. No idea how that sword sticks to him. It's literally floating, but I suppose maybe he swallowed magnets. I don't know. I do not know. And fist punch. I remember that. Teehee.
See anything on patrol, Butcher?
No, nothing. No footprints. I climbed to the top of a hill to the northwest and saw the heath and their fucking
Bleep.
wall to the north. It would make a good lookout point till nightfall.
Excellent. The Resistance found us a good place to camp to wait for what comes next. You, stand watch there. We'll change every 3 hours.
Fist punch. Who's got a gigantic rock on a stick as a
Arkail
weapon?
wanted to see you, Butcher. He's probably somewhere around the falls.
I'll go see him.
Very good. Rest for an hour, then take a look around the eastern part. We'll have to stay on our toes now.
Why does this guy get to wear
Dissidents
armor?
or not, it's tough to trust humans. Difficult to trust anybody.
It is difficult.
Understood.
Alright, so apparently we are Arkail. I guess that's his name. Or the Butcher, as he is so belovedly known. Alright, map and quest log. During the game, press F1 to open the menu and flip through the different pages. Or access the level map directly by pressing M, and the quest log by pressing J, because quest log and J are synonymous with one another. Or journal, I suppose, is where that comes from. Alrighty, so here we are. I can spin my map or my camera around our fellow here. He just looks very pleasant. His neck muscles are larger than probably most people's bodies. Alright, so we can move around. I wonder if we can walk. Doesn't look like this orc is made for walking, so we're going to head back this way, and apparently there's nothing over there. So, this game is not quite the same as what you might expect. Now, when I originally picked up this game, I expected something a little bit different than what I got. But I wasn't disappointed in what I did get, I just was expecting something a little different. So combat's not like you would think. It's not like a Skyrim or something along those lines. It's well, as I told you guys, it's more like Dragon Age Origins. Something along those lines. I wonder if I can fall down. Doesn't appear to be so. So there are some predefined paths. It has been over a year since I played, guys, so keep in mind that I really don't know what I'm doing anymore. I'd say this is a blind playthrough, but that's not 100% true, but it's a relatively blind playthrough. As, well, I generally remember most things. I remember some things in this, but I never got that far in, and this has a really short skirt on, which is weird because he's wearing a skirt, but whatever. Here we are. Orc to orc. Man to man. I want his weapon. Why do I get this ugly sword?
So, how do you feel?
Nervous, impatient. I'd really like to know why we were brought here.
Something big. It's just the worst of us in this one. Even the chief's gonna get his hands dirty.
Jarhill? Really? We gonna kill the Emperor or what?
Ha! Why not? That wouldn't hurt us a bit.
Alright, so we have some dialogue choices, as I'm sure you could imagine. We're gonna have him stop babbling. Another would take his place.
Him or another Quars. Doesn't change much.
He said Quars.
We still have human allies, Arkail. It's not over yet. Apparently, in the time of his father, life was really different from one province on the continent to the next. And it doesn't matter how hard they try, they'll have a tough time finding worse than the Emperor who gave us the Inquisition, massacred our clans, and enslaved our brothers for decades.
That's true.
And the throne would be empty the whole time. We could enjoy that.
That's true too.
Ha! Come back down to Earth. You don't send out a bloodjaw raiding party to go on parade. But there are limits, you know. With or without allies among the Quarsad, 4 of us ain't gonna pull off what our armies couldn't do when we were at our strongest. All of this reeks of a last stand, or a suicide mission.
Both sound exciting to me.
Show some guts, Bloodjaw.
Alright. What's next? He's gonna kick me off the water.
Come on, defend yourself. It'll do you good.
Oh, okay. Alright, so here's our combat tutorial, guys. Just so you know how everything plays out. Whip out my sword, and I'm ready. I don't need no armor. Alright, the tactics menu. Press to switch to the tactics menu. The tactics menu slows down the action and lets you select skills you want to use. Press space, I guess, maybe? Okay. Stack orders. Select the orders you want your character to execute. You can stack up to 4 orders in succession for each character you control. Alright, so let us give that a shot. We're going to do the tactical menu and attack him with that. And then we're going to do that. I have no idea what any of this stuff is going to do. Alright, oh. Well, that didn't seem to do that much for us. So we're going to keep fighting them, I guess. I think you can still move around if you wanted to, but there seems to be very little point in this. Oh, he's got Orc's Blood Rage. Okay, Berserk. When Berserk, Arkail inflicts a lot of damage, but is uncontrollable until the rage gauge has completely emptied. Blind with rage, the Orc ignores defense and may even attack his allies, which is not a good thing. So, there we go. We're angry. We are just going to beat him down until he no longer can deal with anything. Ha! Bleep!
Now, Kai, relax. You get angry way too fast. You gotta learn to control that rage of yours, brother. Nobody wants to see you losing control, you know. You think nothing can stop you, but you lower your guard completely, not to mention the time it takes you to come back down after. I could have killed you several times over.
True.
No
Bleep!
shit, I noticed.
Stop with the language. I can't always bleep everything the best way.
Mental.
One more reason not to get hit,
There
and
you
not
go.
to keep trying with a technique that isn't working. I told you to defend yourself, and you went straight to the attack.
Yeah.
Instead of going on the defensive while I'm talking to you as a friend, do it while you're fighting. You not only get hit less than when you're in an attacking stance, you also control your rage better, and that gives you the time to study your opponents.
Intriguing.
Come on, let's try again. Only this time you parry my attacks in a defensive stance.
Thanks, Arkail. I appreciate your advice and what you're trying to do. But what I really need is some way to blow off steam, not a fucking combat lesson.
Oh, well, it looks like we're gonna find a way to blow off steam. Uh-oh. Oh, he growls.
Help! Help me! I'm being followed. I have a message from Lord Barryman for the Bloodjaws.
What's it about? And where'd you come from?
Oh, here they come. I guess it's a blow off steam time. Oh, Arkail's angry.
Thank you, Mother Earth.
Indeed.
You have what you
Indubitably.
wanted, Berserker. They're all yours. I'll get this messenger somewhere safe. Safe from your murderous rage.
That's fine by me. Take out the mercenaries. Alright. Let's make it happen, Gavin. Here we go. We have our sword, and as battered and ugly as it is, it's all notched and chiseled and chipped and... Alright. Select stance. Scroll through the tactics menu wheels to access the different stances available for your character. Each stance has specific bonuses and a range of specific skills. Select the appropriate stance for the situation. Alright, select target. Q and E is the target selection. Arkail's target is designated by a red circle, his companions by a blue circle. Select your target using the mouse key or the Q and E keys before using a skill. Alright, so we're going to own this guy's face. And then we're going to switch to him and own his face. And that's what we're going to do. I think. Maybe we'll do this. There we go. We did a little bit of damage. And boom. Slapped him. Alright, he's down. And we're going to do a fast attack followed by a powerful blow. And we can just watch the combat unfold. And down he goes. And we have murdered all of them, and they had nothing up against our amazing power. So I'm sure I'm doing something terribly awful.
You're the butcher, right?
Yeah, I
A
am.
real killing machine. I thought you were a legend.
In the flesh.
Shut it, human. Go see our chief in the tent. He was expecting you this evening.
Yeah.
I know I'm not telling you anything new, Arkail, but be real careful with that. You've got to control your rage. It can't control you.
Okay, shut the fuck up, all right? I'll catch up with you.
I don't know, if you fight alone all the time, I suppose it's not that bad of a thing. Whatevs. Alright.
Bloodjaws, know that being here today is the greatest honor an orc can hope to receive.
Awesome.
You are here for the most important mission in your life, and perhaps in the history of our people.
That's a good thing.
This war has gone on too long, and our enemy is more powerful than ever. But Mother Earth has not abandoned us. We have allies.
Yeah, we do.
For a while now, we've been preparing our counterattack with their support, but events are speeding up, and fate has turned against them. We have to move fast, now.
Alright, let's do
It's
it.
time to put an end to the genocide that's been ravaging our people for decades. An end to this campaign of hate waged against us by the other peoples. My brothers, we must strike our enemy's head. Today, we are setting off to kill the Emperor.
Well, that is a tall
It will
task.
be a long and arduous journey. Each of you will receive specific instructions. Needless to say, these instructions, just as your entire mission, must remain entirely secret. You're in enemy territory. Trust no one.
Ha! You said something about a suicide mission?
Yeah, I did.
It's worth a shot.
Butcher, we'll start with you. Follow me. The rest of you wait outside.
Yeah, let's do it, huh? Let's do it. Alright. See, I can do that too. Only mine makes a different sound.
Arkail, you go to the wall. A guide will be waiting for you near the east entrance. His name is Styx.
Styx is the man.
He will guide you to the mire in the lower floors of the Inquisition's tower, where you will contact the Resistance.
Good to know.
Do nothing that might endanger them. They'll find you. Don't look for them openly or talk about your mission with anyone else. The mire is teeming with traitors. You have been warned. The Resistance will help you find High Mage Arkail, who's being held in the tower. The first part of your mission involves freeing her from the Inquisition. This is critical, Bloodjaw. Arcans will then help you reach the Island of Laments, your final destination, where your only task will be to kill the Emperor at all costs.
I like that.
Questions?
No questions. Or...
That was the first time I've heard you say my name, Jarhail. What's up with you?
That's true, Bloodjaw. It's a mission for the Butcher of Bay Harbor. But if I don't call you by your real name today, I doubt I ever will.
Fair enough. Alright, no more questions. Let's get this going.
So basically, I cross the wall, get to the mire, where hopefully the Resistance will contact me. Then I free this Arkail from the Inquisition, go off with her to the Island of Laments, and kill the Emperor. Everything's clear. Had easier jobs, but what the hell?
Well, there you go.
And you know things always get complicated when you're in the field, Bloodjaw.
Yeah, they do.
If you're ready, go now. You should be able to reach the wall during the night. Good luck.
Thank you.
I'm ready.
I'm ready. Let's do it. Get to the east entrance to Shantytown. Find Styx near the east entrance. Alright. So, apparently we have the most important mission in Orc history. And if we fail at this, the world, as we know it, will fall forever into the hands of humans, which of course we already know our world has fallen into the hands of humans, which didn't turn out too bad. Some people might disagree.
The Butcher of Bay Harbor. Bunch of assholes.
Bleep.
They made sure they didn't tell me who I was dealing with. They just gave me a name. Arkail. As if they'd even used it since that fucking
Bleep.
battle. No point in wondering what the world would be like today if I'd had any freaking clue what was going on. I would have said no. First thing, no fucking way. But to be honest, I already knew it wasn't going to be a walk in the park. The Bloodjaws never screw around. Cold as death and twice as savage. Fucking terrifying.
This is gonna be
But
a
I
fun
was
game,
blinded
guys.
by the smell of money, okay? I was gonna be really well paid just to play the guide and get the killing machine to the other side of the wall.
Good stuff.
And if everything went well, as a bonus, piles of those pale guys were gonna get killed.
Also a bonus.
No kidding. Who could turn down a sweet deal like that?
Not me. I certainly couldn't. Reputably inaccessible without perfect knowledge of the local ocean currents, the island of Laments is a fief of the proudest, most... I can't read that fast, guys, apparently. Especially when I stutter over my tongue and words. It just don't work for me. No, it do not. So I... It's okay. It is okay. I should have just read ahead and just remembered and done all that. But either way, guys, that looks like that is the wall, and we are getting relatively close to the end of the episode. I know not a whole lot has happened, but games like this, storyline kind of is almost everything, so definitely want to showcase as much of the story as possible, and, well, kind of get enveloped in the game, you know? Immersed, if you will. So it's rainy, we are a shirtless, short-skirted fellow orc here, just walking around, chilling. He's got a bunch of cracks in his head and all over his body, veins and everything. And there's our buddy Styx. And what is going to
take
happen?
it easy. I'm the guide.
And here we go. He doesn't seem impressed.
Okay. Glad it was easy hooking up. On the other hand, it's gonna be a little bit trickier than I thought. The Inquisition is around.
Of course it is.
Doors are closed and there's a curfew. They're not letting anything or anybody through. It's a real mess.
Yeah, that does sound to be problematic. So, the
Why
goblin.
the hell did they give me a Aarklash as a guide?
Vermin, huh? Maybe because whatever you think, I'm still the best.
Yeah. Tell me
I
more.
want to know more before I follow you, Aarklash.
What can I say? You can't just walk up to the wall, knock on the door and say, "Good morning, I'm here to assassinate the Emperor," and expect them to open up.
Why
You
not?
gotta take other paths.
See, that's my plan.
That's where I come in.
Alright, well, okay. But he's a goblin.
You still don't get it. I want to know more about you.
Ah.
Well,
Listen, Rakash. I never saw a goblin that could talk, let alone be a guide.
There you go.
look, you're right. The other goblins are idiots. But I'm a survivor. Actually, I'm so old I could be your grandfather.
Interesting.
My grandfather? You watch your mouth, asshole.
Bleep!
My grandfather was an honorable warrior, not some...
Okay, no offense. It's just an expression. What I mean is I'm a lot older than the others.
Fair
A
enough.
lot older. I've survived. And to survive, you gotta be smart. Is that a good enough explanation for you? Can we go now?
I suppose. Okay, I'm in. Okay.
All right. I don't like it, but I don't really have a choice. You go first. One wrong move, and I'll rip your head off and shit
Bleep.
in the hole.
It's going to be a fantastically fun game, guys. Well, what can I say? What can I say? Just random bleeps. That's about it. So when we get to a saving
See?
point, guys.
I wasn't
Bleep!
bullshitting. They've even closed up here. Wait for me. There's a passage just over there. I'll go and open the door.
So when I get to a save point, which should be soon, we are going to break off episode 1 of this Let's Play of the game of Orcs and Men, and it's very hard to say of Orcs and Men considering you usually lead off with a Let's Play of, or break off this episode of, then you'd have 2 ofs, you'd be like, of, Orcs and... So, things are going to be a little bit weird, a little bit interesting with our whole scenario. We are going to save the game, and I think I'm going to try to save it right here, actually. We're going to save our content, and we'll continue in the next episode, guys. So this is the very first episode of the game of Orcs and Men by Cyanide Studios, Spiders, and Focus Home Interactive. It's going to be a one-off series, as I mentioned at the beginning, something I just randomly throw around whenever I feel like it, or whenever I want to play, I'll record the episodes of it. I felt like playing the game, or this game today, so I figured I'd record it, and you guys all get to benefit from that. So, hopefully you guys enjoy. If you did, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, share. Let me know what you think of the series. I would probably suggest waiting a couple episodes until you see more of it. But, either way, if you feel so strongly right now, let me know. I mean, if there's enough positive feedback, and enough people get behind it, maybe I'll move this into the mainstream LPs that I actually do. Well, until the next episode, guys, or until the next time I get to spend time with you all, my name's Bumpy McSquigums, and I will see you later.